will teach you the actual techniques used to build an intelligence profile on any target. In today's world, information is more than mere power. It's also money and control. Data can change the course of a business, a person's life, or even a nation. Information can be gathered by several different methods of surveillance, including physical, optical, and electronic. As technology increases, so does our ability to compromise it. Not even computers are safe anymore. A Swedish scientist, Dr. Van Eck, discovered that they emit AM noise and can be picked up on a modified TV receiver. Your company's secrets are no longer safe. Surveillance doesn't always have to do with exotic electronic equipment. For instance, going through the garbage is a viable means of surveillance. If you find typewriter ribbon, plastic typewriter ribbon can be read. You can reconstruct the data simply by reading the impressions left on the ribbon. Another interesting trick in physical surveillance is to take liquid Freon, which is sold at Radio Shack, among other places, and spill it on a closed envelope. This makes the paper transparent for a few seconds, and you can read what's on there. In about 30 seconds, the paper goes back to normal. This is the interior of our subject apartment. For a sound source, we're using a VCR with a movie on it. We're going to turn it up to approximately the volume of a loud conversation and go outside and test a couple of our through-the-wall devices and telephone devices. This device is designed to listen through walls. It uses a transducer to transform vibrations into sound. Although it's not as good as the ads say, it doesn't listen through 6 inches of concrete. It will listen through a hollow core door or thin wall and give good audio from what's going on inside. Now in a second here, we're going to plug the audio from this little unit directly into our camera and let you hear our sound source inside this apartment. This unit is a German-made unit which amplifies vibrations approximately 20,000 times. This microphone is extremely sensitive, and not only can we place it on the door as we did the other microphone and hear what's going on, we can actually place this microphone, holding it very carefully, on a solid wall and listen to what's going on inside the apartment. Again, we're going to switch the audio directly into the camera so you can hear this. It's fairly impressive, isn't it? All the devices we're going to employ in this film are commercially available, although it is against federal law to intercept other people's conversations and also against the law to own some of these devices. The telephone is a prime source of information. A variety of different attacks are available, including a $2 induction coil that we've just seen, 2 bugging devices that broadcast both sides of a phone conversation to nearby receivers, recorders, transmitters, or scanners. One of the first places to look, obviously, is in the telephone itself. Although some devices are built to look like components, in order to have much range, most devices are built inside black boxes, making them easier to find. By simply taking the telephone apart, you can often find these devices clipped inside. People forget the handset. This is an ideal place where real pros will stash a transmitter. These bugs can also be put anywhere along the phone line, including the pole itself or the terminal box. New ESS phone systems automatically check 20,000 numbers every 1.3 seconds. If a short is found, they'll block the call, but good bugs never cause this condition. Most office buildings have an internal terminal board, such as we're seeing right here. The easiest way to bug this is simply put a matching transformer and a capacitor across anyone's line you wish to overhear. This will allow a recorder to record the calls. The next step up is to use a dropout relay. These are commercially available for about $25. They record both sides of a telephone conversation when a phone is lifted off the hook. One step up from this is the radio bug. This is a parallel bug. It's drawing its power from the phone system itself and rebroadcasting any conversation to a nearby radio. Some bugs employ their own batteries. Some bugs are series bugs that cut the wire to draw power. However, the new ones are usually parallel. Some companies have their own phone systems, such as a roam or a dimension phone system. These are more difficult to bug because they randomly select incoming trunks and connect them to their own stations. They also tend to encrypt data between the phones and their own message processor unit. If you're looking for a bug on these units, look close to the central processor. This is a lineman's handset or a GOAT. Graybar Electronics manufactures much of the gear in use today by real telephone linemen and repairmen. You can buy this equipment legally and commercially. The GOAT also has pin teeth that penetrate insulation on any portion of a telephone line, so you can tap it right away. This is a box that contains subscribers' pairs and incoming trunks. You'll notice the access to this box is very easy. There are a number of these boxes that appear before the phone line reaches the central office. You can clip your GOAT onto these terminals, check into any conversation going on with no clicks, or dial numbers out from this box. Each line in the box is numbered and stored in a computer. These assignments are accessible by linemen, splicers helpers, splicers installers, and repairmen. Phone companies also maintain local numbers which you can dial, and they will read back the number you're dialing from, thus establishing the number you want to tag. Real professionals purchase the same wire, set up their bugs, run a parallel line from the terminals. This makes it difficult to differentiate from real phone company wiring. Surveillance can also take the form of room surveillance. These bugs are designed to be hidden in the room or in a wall socket and broadcast conversations. This particular bug is snapped on any handy power cord, drawing its power from the cord and transmitting conversations until it is found. Remember, surveillance personnel and technicians or equipment installers should have a cover that blends in. They should be repair people, construction workers, anybody that can be outside a building and stationed at a choke point where they can pick up the target as he comes from his place of business or his house. This avoids the target seeing the same person over and over. Also, they should bring a change of clothes so they can suddenly become somebody they weren't, walking away from their repair job to become an active surveillance person, as we're seeing right here. Optical surveillance can be helped by aids like binoculars, but one must consider power, field of view, light intake capability, size, and durability. One doesn't want to employ binoculars of over 10 magnification for hand use because vibrations become a major problem. It's also possible to aid optical surveillance by tricking the other end. You can mark a vehicle you plan to follow by slipping aluminum foil or a reflective bumper sticker or tape onto the vehicle, making it much easier to spot as it goes down the street and you're trying to tail it from behind. A quick trick to find out when someone has left, you don't have the personnel to spare, put a watch, a non-digital watch, under their tire. When the car leaves, the watch will be crushed, telling you an important piece of information and allowing you to set up surveillance at a later date.
At least we know what time he left.
The Russians used to take marking people a step farther by putting fluorescent powder on their backs when they shook their hands and patted their backs, making them easy to follow. This is a starlight scope, a wonderful device. Amplifies light 50,000 times, a second-generation unit using fiber optics. Notice the area around our figure. This is what the camera is seeing. It's not masked off. Starlight scope can be enhanced by using small infrared transmitters. This light is invisible in the daytime, but it can be seen extremely clearly through clothing, cardboard, or underneath a car. As we see here, our target has it under a heavy jacket. It stands out like a beacon when viewed through a starlight scope. This can be used to tag something or to identify friendly agents in a crowded situation. It's also a cheap form of night tracking. In a second, we're going to see it on a car that's almost a mile away in the woods. It stands out like a beacon, making it easy to follow the target vehicle. This is a Dynaray FLIR 6. This is a prototype model. This is one step away from a thermal imaging. First we have starlight scopes, then we have thermal imaging, then we have this little device. This reads infrared radiation in the human body level. It is designed for sweeping an area and detecting human bodies. It will work from 0 to approximately 100 feet depending on conditions. It's ideal for people who have to go into a room and determine if someone is in there before them, or in the woods, determine if someone is watching your house, or if somebody's sitting out there with a gun, frankly, looking for you. It's about 250 bucks. We found it very useful. A nice device. You're going to see a lot of cops and probably soldiers using it. There's an LED readout, and there's also a vibration. When I sweep by my cameraman, I get a vibration. Very noticeable. No sound. Very effective unit for telling if you're alone in the area. There are a couple types of physical surveillance that can be employed depending on the desired outcome. This is lockstep surveillance, where we want to stop hostile activity by the target, who's usually immune from prosecution or retribution by the virtue of his diplomatic status. Therefore, he is accompanied by readily identified personnel until he gets the idea he's no longer wanted in this country and probably leaves. The other form of surveillance is clandestine surveillance, which is more subtle by nature and is the art of following a target without arousing his concern. In just a moment, we'll follow a real-life clandestine surveillance operation from beginning to end. Who is this man? What is he doing? How do we place him under surveillance without arousing his suspicions? How do we find out if he's engaged in hostile activities? Who are his contacts? Why is he here? The objective of any good surveillance is to answer these questions, generally just as discreetly as possible. There are many variable factors in clandestine surveillance of a target. The most important is the amount of resources you can allocate to the target. The FBI will throw hundreds of people in a major espionage case. However, we may not have that option. Therefore, we form a surveillance team that will blanket the subject as well as they possibly can. These people on the team must fit in with their surroundings. They must not stand out. They must be able to accompany the target wherever he goes. A stationary observation post is very important. This can stake out the place of business or the house. We set up people around these targets that, again, fit in with their surroundings. They must be in constant communication with the team leader, here by walkie-talkie, although more modern units normally use a sleeve mic. As we see John talking his walkie-talkie here, he would be talking to his sleeve in real life. The team themselves must have the ability to jump into any form of transportation. If our target gets into his car, we must have cars ready to chase him. If he gets into a bus, we must have bus fare. If he goes to an airport, somebody better have ticket fare or we'll lose him forever. In this case, we have backup vans, backup drivers, and the team has been instructed what to do if this situation arrives. They simply pick him up, bracket him if at all possible in the vehicle, and take up stations when he leaves the vehicle again. Team members alternate both vehicles and themselves as not to arouse suspicion. When the target is in a crowded area, surveillance is loosened. If the target goes into a store, we must be able to immediately cover the situation. Is it a woman's store? We probably can't send in 3 burly surveillance people. There better be a woman there we can send in. At the same time, the other exits from the store must be covered immediately. This is a good way to burn a surveillance team. Go into a store, come out another exit. If they're not ready, you've lost the target. If they have a van, they should be equipped with certain pieces of gear, video cameras, still cameras, parabolic mics, and they should have at least one other vehicle available in order to bracket the target without arousing his concern. What looks like a small earpiece can actually be a transducer, allowing the agent to talk through his ear without having an obvious walkie-talkie or microphone to alert the suspect.
Okay, people, settle down. That's enough. Good morning. Good. I know it's an ugly morning. We got coffee going, so do what you can. All right, we have a target here. The guy's name is Randolph Hertz. He's a professor of astrophysics. He's involved in Star Wars research at the university. He's also a prime suspect in an ongoing leak at the astrophysics laboratory. The Home Office wants better coverage on this guy. There's already been some casual peeking. We shot, we rented a van and we shot some footage, which I'll crank up right now for you.
Who's this from?
This is
Locals or what?
yeah, this is a local surveillance, and you'll get a few shots of the subject. Now I have dossiers and photographs and everything for you later, so don't get involved in that now. You get it all right after the briefing.
Jeez, you got a nice head up there.
Okay, he's 41 years old. He's 5 feet 10, black hair, blue eyes, married. Wife used to teach school. His house, 1435 Blackwater Canyon Road. He drives a Land Rover, plates are MHX 928. All this is in the dossier. He has irregular working hours, typical of a college type. We don't know much about his routine. He comes and goes as he pleases. He's got the typical academic background. He's very bright, and let me say this right now. I think the biggest mistake we could make would be to underestimate the guy. He's
Pretty sharp.
he's street smart. He hasn't made any mistakes. This is not the kind of thing where we're going on evidence. We're going here on a hunch.
Any idea how long?
Well,
Yeah.
we don't know. This part of the surveillance is going to determine that. Now, if in a week or 10 days we get something hot, I'm authorized a lot of technical assistance, more bodies, more money, the whole 9 yards.
But we have to uncover something.
Oh yeah, and we have to, and it has to be provable.
Okay.
Okay, academic background. He was in school during the Vietnam era. He did not fight. He chose to stay in school. Studied astrophysics for a year in England. Traveled through the Soviet bloc countries in the late 60s. He has no known foreign intelligence connections so far.
Where did you go to school in the States?
PhD, Minnesota. Okay, this is a discrete. I'm sorry?
Foreign languages?
It doesn't say here. I imagine he had to have one to get his PhD, but it doesn't say on that. Okay, this is a very discreet surveillance. I'd rather back off and lose the subject for a day or two than have one of our people burned. So keep it loose.
Where was this taken? On the screen now.
Okay, that's on the mall downtown.
Okay.
And again, this is just to give you a general idea of what the guy looks like. Okay, the surveillance goes as follows. We're going to tuck him in each night, pick him up in the morning. And again, it'll be loose. When we pick him up in the morning, there's a natural choke point down where Blackwater Canyon crosses 16th Street. The OP will check on him during the evening hours. I'll show you some of the equipment as we go by later. Okay, there are going to be 2 vehicles, 6 troops, myself, the OP site here. We're going to have technical assistance as we need it. So, we also have a bumper beeper here.
Hey, he's starting to look in windows. Was he suspect something? What's he doing there?
Okay, that's a good question. If the subject is wary, that's probably one of the things he's going to do. Now, I know most of you know this. John and Heidi are new. You can learn. That's a good point. Nobody ever does read the Christian Science Monitor. So. Yeah, and the telephone's a very nice way for people to look around and check things out. As I started to say, we do have this bumper beeper. If we can get close enough to his car, we'll use it. If not, again, I'd rather be discreet than
Who's
E.
be.
the girl talking now?
We think she's unrelated. We haven't seen her before.
Did anybody follow her?
No one followed her, no. We think that was a casual encounter. All right, let me jump into a quick review of surveillance
This
again.
place here?
I'm sorry?
Is this place?
Yeah, that is his
Okay.
house. And it's semi-rural, he's up in the mountains.
Okay.
So we've got to be careful there too. As much use of binoculars and
Yeah, it does.
telescopes. That's
Yeah.
what I recommended. Okay, that's the target's wife.
Got any stills of her?
Amy. Yeah, we do. We got stills of both of them, dossiers on him.
So did she travel to Soviet bloc country with him?
She did not travel to the bloc, to the Soviet bloc country. She did travel to England with him. She has a clean background. They both have clean backgrounds. All right, I'm sorry to bore a lot of you, but I'm going to give you a refresher for John and Heidi who are new. Okay, this is our target. If the target goes around the corner, he can set up an ambush. Usually one would follow, but not when he goes around a corner. In this case, 3 comes up to the corner. If for some reason he can't see the target, he can cross the street. At that point, he can see both the target and the lead, and the follow. Follow would come up only after he gets the say-so from number 3. And number 2 would come up here. Now, if you want to, number 1, if you think that the subject has spotted you, you cross. Number 2 becomes the follow. Now the cars, we have a van and we have a VW, and they are on the radio net with us. If for any reason the subject spots us or just decides for the heck of it to jump in a taxi cab, hustle to get into these vehicles, because if you miss the first, obviously you can get in the second. If you miss the second, you're on your own. We just don't have time.
They're gonna pull up and pick us up.
They will pick you up. Those are their orders, but they will not wait. If it's a question of losing one of you and losing the target, they will leave you. So wear some comfortable footwear. All right, now let's say for the sake of argument that our target decides to enter a building or a shop, what have you. All right, 1 has an option here. He can follow this way, or he can cross the street. Since he's there,
What's this place like? We got lots of traffic.
okay, let's let him stay here. 2 is going to come up. 3, now again, this is all going to be depending. If you've done surveillance work before, you know that everything's written in wet concrete. Number 3 can go around back to check to see if there are any rear entrances. Number 4 can come up this way, across the street. And what we'd like to do, ideally, is bracket the target so that there are stationary surveillance people outside. So no matter which way, let's say he comes back out here, there's nowhere he can really go without being spotted, and yet he doesn't feel like he's being followed because he's not. You people are stationary.
Shouldn't he enter the store?
That's a good question. That's going to be my call. It's going to depend on how you folks are dressed. What kind of a store is it? Is it a ladies' store? Is it, it's going to depend. I'd like to give you a nice answer, nice clean answer. Yeah, exactly. Okay, patterns and movement so far is he spends about half of his time on campus. I'm just to finish up what I was doing here. Number 1 is going to, as he walks past the target, he's going to see what the target's doing in the store or in the office building, whatever. You're going to bring your vehicles around such that 1 is parked here and 1 may be parked here. So, assuming there is no back way out, the target is covered either way. Okay. To answer your question, if the target is downtown, we're going to need more appropriate dress. You can redress in the van.
Well, it's a college town, right?
But it is a college town. So basically, yeah. You want street clothes and you want like a campus outfit of holy blue jeans and sunglasses and all that. All right, he's back out of the building now. What would happen here is number 5 would come down to watch from the corner. Number 2 would stay where he is. Number 1 would probably jaywalk, come over here. This vehicle would come down and park here. This vehicle is obviously going the wrong way. He's going to have to either come down and turn around this way or come down and circle back that way.
5 is going to become the number 1 man now?
5 is now the tail, the follow, right. He's number 1. What you have to do is listen to me, keep me apprised. Again, I hate to repeat myself to the old hands, but don't tell me the subject turned on 16th and Broadway. You got to say north, you got to say south, you got to say east. You got to keep me apprised. A lot of times I can't see the target, but I've got a map in front of me, and if you say north, south, east, west, everything's fine. Okay, stay flexible, stay loose. Let's say, for example, let's say that the target thinks there's somebody on him, and he just, for no reason at all, just does a 180 turn, turns around, and walks right through 3 or 4 of you. Let him go. Don't turn around. Don't change your pace. Keep going. Get into a van, ride around for an hour. The rest of the team will surveil him. Questions?
What kind of equipment do we have?
All right, we have the CCP video camera in the van, and it is a good one. We also have the transceivers with the earpieces all on the same frequency this time. We have night vision devices. We have little black boxes, but not in the house. At this point, this is a stage 1 surveillance. All right, try and keep that in mind. In the event, as in a couple of surveillances past, if the radios do go out, resort to the standard hand signals. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate. Okay, I'll see you out there. Any other questions? Thank you for your undivided attention.
Okay, he seems to be slowing down. Just slow down with him.
I think he might have me picked up. I'm not sure.
All right, you and Ray take up the lead, and you just drop back slowly. Do everything slowly. He seems to be either cautious or he knows what we're up to. Over.
Most definitely. He's looking over here now. Okay, I'm slowing down. I'm looking in the window.
Turn your back to him. He seems to be looking in the reflection in the window, so just turn your back to the target. Over.
Got it. I'm doing the same. He is looking right at me.
Okay, let's not get burned here unless we have to. Everybody just drop back a few paces. Over.
Okay, doing. He's moving again. He's going.
Okay, just keep with him, bracket him, and don't look at him any more than you have to.
Looks like he's going into a restaurant. It's an outdoor cafe. I don't think we can get anybody in there.
Any chance we can get the parabolic and get a lens? Anything we can get close? Can we do it? We can probably get the parabolic across the street on the balcony, and John's got the camera. Okay, do it. Let's do it. We need this conversation, and I want some good photos of anybody he meets. Get moving. Everybody else stay in place.
We got coverage. The wind's carrying the voices a little bit. We got good photos, though.
They're leaving. What about the woman? Should we follow her, too? No, stay on him. We don't have enough people.
Hey, was that a brush fetch? I think that was.
I think it was, too. You follow the new guy. Heidi, just keep on following the target. You can close in a little bit now. Something's going on. Okay, John, cut loose. Good. Okay, flare up. Follow him wide around the corner.
Hey, he just went to the store.
What store?
It's the Buccaneer on the corner of Pearl and 12. Yep.
That's ladies' wear, is it not?
It is.
All right, I don't want you in there. Send Heidi in there. Okay, John, tell me about the back door.
There is no back exit. Nobody came out the back door. What's going on?
I'm not sure what's going on right now. Why don't you start walking toward the front of the store, over?
Okay.
Heidi, go back inside. Just go back inside. Johnny's got to be in there. Just check to see if there's maybe another entrance to the shop next door or something like that. Over.
I'm back, Edgar. How you went back in?
All right, this is today's tape, and if we have to sit here all night, I want to know what the hell happened today. Why did we lose him?
Okay. We had a guy over here, and I was out back. And I shit you not, he did not go out the back.
Well, he wasn't beamed up. I want to know what happened. All right, what's this? What's this? What is that?
Yeah, same pants, same shoes.
Why don't you stop that? Stop that.
That's the same pants. That's the same shoes. That's a wig or a hat or some damn thing, and he's changed his shirt and taken off his suit coat. All right, that's your mystery.
Okay, what about the girl yesterday at lunch?
Oh, she's a secretary at the university. Her name's Rita Welch. She's clear as far as I can tell. We're checking. All right, now let's watch here.
Okay. There it is. There's a brush right there.
Damn.
That guy's definitely up to something.
Disguise and brush pass, my friend.
Okay, disguise and brush pass equals no good. We're gonna go into stage 2. That's the end of that.
Good. Great.
Good eyes.
Here you wanted to see me.
Yeah, I need a tech, and I hear you're good.
I'm the best.
Well, I need blanket coverage. I need video, I need audio, and I want a hardwire on the phones.
Okay, you have the stuff. You want me to get some?
No, I got it. This goes in the living room and the light fixture.
Fiber optics, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but the best for our side.
That's right. This goes in the bedroom. This will give us our audio.
Okay.
And this is a hardwire for the phones. Pretty straightforward stuff.
Simple.
Okay, now, the target lives in a house. The house is locked. There's a Yale deadbolt on the front. There's a radio-controlled garage door and high windows. He works days. I would like this in as soon as possible.
You got a court order for this fishing trip?
No, I don't have a court order, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That doesn't seem like much of a problem.
Good, good.
You know the terms?
I know the terms.
Well, how about half up front?
I thought you might want that. The address is in there. A couple other pieces of information. No tracks, huh?
No tracks.
He's on the deck. He's got something in his hand. It looks like a flashlight. I don't know what the hell that is. What should we do?
Shit, it's a life scan. It's a life scan. He's looking for people. He's looking for people. Pull our people back out of the bushes. Get them out of range. Get them out of range as soon as you can. Get them out of range. He'll spot somebody for sure.
Copy that. Hope we're in time.
Okay, get the people out of there and switch the inside stuff. Use the camera inside. Use the audio inside. Everybody else, stay where you are. Stay where you are.
I tried to call you today.
Oh?
Around lunch.
Oh, I was gone. I had to go out.
out and have lunch with old Professor Jones.
I thought we were going to go out and have lunch today.
Well, you know, I'm trying to get that grant together, and, you know, this old guy pesters me all the time. There's nothing in the world I can do about it. No, but I tell you what, you know, I really do owe you a lunch, but why don't we go to the movie instead?
Holy shit. Boss? Something's happening. Yeah, he's on the move. I picked up the fact that they were going to go to the movies tonight. I think that's where they're headed.
This is Leader. Who am I talking to? Over.
This is Ray, over.
What's going on here? The target's wife just pulled up, got out of the vehicle alone. There's nobody else here. What the hell's going on? Over.
Hey, I saw them both get in the car. Has anyone checked the car?
Say again.
I saw both him and the woman get in the car and drive away. Has anyone gone through the trouble of checking the car? Over.
I'll check the car myself right now, but I am not happy. Over. You ready for this?
What?
Goddamn Gibbs. Son of a bitch could be anywhere between his house and here. He's out loose. Nice job, guys. Remind me to put in a word for you. It's a goddamn dummy. It's a goddamn dummy. Do you read me?
Unfortunately, I do.
Very nice. Let's go home, gentlemen.
Because of his suspicious activities, the target is now presumed guilty of something. Surveillance is tightened, and the subject is monitored on the way to his office, where a stationary unit will be set in place.
1-1, this is Leader. Over.
1-1.
Subject's gone into his office building. I suggest we set up a stationary surveillance. Over. Okay, something's going down. Something's going down. Follow him loose. Everybody get ready to go. Get the van, call the van up, and get the backup car up. Get him up, get ready to go. He's probably heading for his car.
I saw some men that were following him. One of them had a walkie-talkie, and they were following him all over. They followed him around the park and stuff like that. Yeah. No, they had walkie-talkies, and the one who didn't have the ones who didn't have walkie-talkies had little earplugs.
girl and a kid. I've seen them before. They were up at CU.
That's right. When he left his office, they were right there in the little park out by the grass.
Damn.
The appearance of two, quote, unrelated, unquote, people in two separate locations cannot be considered a coincidence. They are probably watching the subject's back door looking for signs of surveillance. Although the subject seems to have curtailed his other activities after his counter-surveillance has apparently burned the surveillance team, he does keep going to the theater on a regular basis. Team members drop active tailing and begin to concentrate on this location looking for dead drops.
There's a canister in the second stall on the toilet. Great. He's in the theater. As soon as he uses the restroom, we'll nail him. Got it.
You're on your right. Get up against the wall. Up against the wall. Bye bye. We got it. Turn around. Turn around. All right. You're out of time. Way out of the country, too.